In the last couple hours, we are learning the names of the 4 people killed in another mass shooting in this country, this time at a bank in Louisville, Kentucky, as the attacker live streamed, apparently, this nightmare to the world. You see the victims' names here: Joshua Barrick, Juliana Farmer, James Tutt. You see their faces along with Thomas Elliott, who was a very good friend of the Kentucky governor, Andy Beshear, who says he talked to Elliott more than almost anybody in the world.
Tommy Elliott helped me build my law career, helped me become governor, gave me advice on being a good dad. He was an incredible friend.
So here is what we're just now learning. As we said, 4 people dead. You just saw their names and faces. People who were just trying to get to work on a Monday morning. 9 people went to the hospital. 3 are in critical condition. One of those, a police officer, Nicholas Wilt, shot in the head when he helped to stop the shooter. The chief says she just swore him in 2 weeks ago. Police are also confirming that, yes, the shooter did, in fact, work at this bank. Our team is tracking deadly workplace shootings like this one, 37 in the last 5 years, that have left 120 people dead. In 25 of those shootings, the attacker was a current or former employee, so worked there or used to work there. It doesn't matter where you live. North, south, east, west, red, blue. Each one of these little dots on the map is one of these instances. But in this particular case, there's also a lot that we don't know yet in Louisville, like the shooter's specific motive. We don't know how he got the gun either. Police are only saying it was a rifle. We also don't know if there are any laws in Kentucky that could have stopped this attack. One source with knowledge telling our team the shooter had mental health issues, but Kentucky has no red flag laws. With President Biden tonight asking how many more Americans need to die before Republicans in Congress act on his agenda to change the country's laws and try to slow down gun violence. Morgan Chesky is live for us in Louisville. And Morgan, as we talked about here, police have confirmed that this shooter may have live streamed this attack. What else do we know about this investigation and what police are working on here?
Yeah, Hatley, this remains an incredibly active investigation, and we are on the edge of a wide perimeter around that old National Bank. That's the building about a block behind me. Still crime scene tape all around it. Investigators gathering evidence as we speak. You mentioned the shooter, Hallie. They did officially identify him as that individual, 23-year-old Connor Sturgeon, saying that he did live stream at least a portion of this gunfight that took place around 8:30 this morning. That's when authorities say this either current or former employee walked into Old National Bank and began to open fire with a long rifle of sorts, although authorities are declining to name a specific make or model. They did go on to say more details about this individual, saying that they don't have any records of him being any sort of having any sort of criminal history here in Louisville, Hallie, and they did say that they're looking into his past. And we asked specifically if there was a search warrant carried out today. They would decline to acknowledge that. But I can tell you that you mentioned the governor acknowledging one of the victims being a close friend. You could really sense the emotion throughout this entire 45-minute press conference there. This was a shooting that took place in the heart of a community. And these victims were absolutely not strangers here. And I think that's why the governor said if there's one thing we need more than ever right now, it is love for this long road of recovery ahead. Hallie?
Yeah, and it is going to be a long road. We know when it comes to the police response, Morgan, that they say they got there like that. Within 3 minutes, police were on the scene of this bank shooting. We talked about that officer who raced toward the sound of gunfire to try to stop the attacker, even at a cost to his own physical health here.
Absolutely. And they credit that quick response time with saving lives for those inside. Throughout today, we have heard one harrowing account after another of people hearing gunshots, then hiding, then even having coworkers struck beside them. I want you to hear what one eyewitness had to say when they shared their account earlier today. Take a listen.
We have no idea what is happening. Can you go outside? The footsteps that you hear in the hallway, is someone out there? This was terrifying.
Yeah, and that woman, far from the only individual attesting to that. Right now, the authorities, Hallie, are calling on the public here to share any insight they may have that could provide any evidence going forward as they continue to learn more about how this took place. The question was asked, Hallie, what security measures did the bank have in place already?
Yeah.
Metal detectors, security guards, and authorities wouldn't go into detail on that, only saying that that's part of what they're gathering going forward today, and that is why we see such a large footprint of investigators here just outside the scene. Hallie?